What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I want to talk a little bit about my secret weapon in sales. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott King. I run a DJ company over here in Orlando, Florida. I also run a coaching business, and I teach how I was able to grow my business to 6 figures and beyond. If that is something that is interesting to you, or if you like the information you see in this video, make sure to join the Facebook group, www.coachscottking.com. And today, I want to talk a little bit about my leads and how I get them and how we're able to respond. So anybody who's had a little bit of sales training realizes that the more prompt you are and the more you're able to follow up with your leads, the more secure your lead will be with going with your service. So what if you're really busy and you're just one person? It's nice to have automation set up in play so that even if you can't get to the phone, or if you're on stage DJing or at your wedding doing a gig, you want to make sure that you don't have to worry about that while you're on the road. Because getting started out is a little bit hard, right? You got a lot of things to do. Your marketing, your sales, your hiring, your firing, your training, you're doing all these things. So the more automation that you can put into play, the easier it will be for you to do other things. So with that in mind, I ran into this guy at the WNBA in Vegas. His name is Leo, and he was demonstrating a software that he created, which I found mind-blowing. The reason I find that mind-blowing, so when I was working on sales and funnels, I learned about this software called Zapier, right? So Zapier is basically a bridge between two softwares. So let's say that you get a bunch of information wherever you get your leads, right? And then you want to be able to put that into your funnel, or you want to put that into your sales process. So there is no Zapier for the wedding business industry. So if you get a lead, you have to manually take that and put it into your MailChimp, or put it into whatever software that you have, your CRM, to be able to keep up, with all the leads that are coming in. And me personally, I spend $1,500 a month just getting leads. And if I can't close those leads, that's like burning money. So I ended up running into Leo at the WNBA, and he was explaining the software that he created, and he created his own Zapier for the wedding business industry. Now, this is mind-blowing because he's the only one I was able to find to help me along the way. So basically, when a lead comes in, the software takes all the information and then plugs it into wherever you want to go. So if you're using MailChimp, like me, for instance, and I'd get an email, and if I can't get to the phone every 30 minutes or so, it would take the information and then put it into the software. I actually have it sent to two different places. I have it sent to MailChimp, and I also have it sent to my DJ EP, DJ Event Planner, for those of you that are unfamiliar with that software. So it's a game changer. So when you're dealing with 4,000 leads that I have in my MailChimp, it's really hard to input all that information manually, and that's what I was doing. So when I ran into him, he was explaining this software, and I'll go ahead and share my screen, and it's called Leads Import. Now, if this is something that's interested to you, I'll leave a link down below, and then I'll explain to you a little bit about how it works, right? So right here, you can see in the last 14 days, Leads Import takes the information and then transports it over to my MailChimp. I would show you my MailChimp. It's a little bit of a conflict of interest, and to show other people's, contact information. So basically, I'm just going to go over what the software does. So basically, you could see how many leads that I had from Event Detective and how many leads I had from the Knot. And this will also give you more information to decide whether or not to keep these services or not, right? So if you're getting a bunch of leads, but you're not able to close them because the leads are garbage, then you probably wouldn't want to keep that service. Where I know I spend premium dollars for the Knot, and I want to be able to close as many as possible, because that's $800 a month just to be on the featured spot that I have. So it'll break it down how many leads you get per day. And the more information you're able to collect, you can look back and find out when your busy season is, so you wouldn't have to guess so much if you're just starting out. If you've been in business for a little while, then you can probably predict. It's like a sixth sense, right? Oh, I know the calls are coming in. Like, I know tomorrow's Monday and I'm going to get slammed with phone calls. So anyway, when the lead comes in, if you're at a show and you can't get to the phone to input or respond to your customer, it'll do that automatically because it has this thing called autoresponders. And I have an email that's created called the icebreaker. It's basically me saying hi to everybody, and when's a good time to talk about your service, because it also has a link in there for them to set up their own Zoom call so they can sit down with me, or they can give me a call then. Yet if I can't get to the phone, I usually have an assistant, and my phone is redirected to another phone. Call forwarding. I understand that responding quickly to inquiries is the main bread and butter. That's what convinces the other person that you have your act together. So with that in mind, it also sends you emails, and the alerts are sent to my info at King Entertainment Events. And then once a lead has been taken from my inbox and put into my MailChimp, it sends me a little notification saying, hey, look, we got you covered. And then I can go in and do some cleanup work if I need to later when I'm sitting down in the office. They also have a Zapier connection in case you have a software that needs, Zapier, it could take the information and plug it along the way. So basically on the destinations page, you have all these different places that it will take the information from and then import it into here. So my system, I use DJ Event Planner and MailChimp. And if you use any one of these other ones, it'll be able to input that information into your CRM. Now, if you're using something that's not on this list, Leo is a great guy, and he has constant contact with his developer, and they could probably add something new to the list. I think one of the ones that was added was MailChimp, because that's what I was using. He hadn't added that one yet, but it's there now. And then, of course, these are all the places that I get leads. So he's set up account with Event Detective, the Knot, and Zola. So when that lead sends me some information, they're automatically added to my email chain, and it sends an autoresponder to them, which is the autoresponder right here. So they're answered, within a 30-minute period at the least. Let's say they respond when I'm sleeping. I get some leads that come in at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and this software, it doesn't sleep. So that works out really good for me. And then let's say, you do a bridal show and they give you a CSV. You could take that information and plug it into here, and away it goes. So in order to book lots of gigs, it's best to have systems in place so that you can keep in constant contact with everybody. And then, of course, they have their own forms. So I created this one for wedding expos. And when they put their information into there, it automatically zaps their information into my systems. So they're instantly getting information from me, even if they're at a bridal show, hand it right to their phone, which I find amazing. Now, there's all these other, drop-down menus, and if I click on them, that'll probably give you their email address and their name and their contact information. And as an internet marketer, that's not what we put on websites. So just know that information's there, and then you'll be able to, predict a little bit of the future by studying a little bit of the past. It also tells you how many auto response were sent. So basically, when you have 4,000 people in your MailChimp, it's easier to keep in touch with everybody when it's set on automation. So once again, this is my secret weapon. I use it all the time. I was with it for a very long time, like 6 months before I decided I was going to make a video on it, because I didn't want to, send something out. If I've created my own app, I realize when I'm dealing with the developer, there's always constant change happening. And in the last 6 months, I haven't had any issues with it. And that's why I've released a video now telling you guys about it. So if this is interesting to you, I'll go ahead and leave a link below. And if you want to learn how I was able to grow my business, I'll also leave a link to the website so you can come to the Facebook group and learn what I did. www.coachscottking.com. Alrighty, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.